Welcome viewers, Cooper's Automotive. 2015 Ford Edge complaint was a roaring sound coming from the right front, so it needs a hub bearing. So we've already purchased our parts here for this car. This is the actual Motorcraft hub for that. That's our part number for that. Looks like this. This is our bearing, and this is our part number for our bearing, Motorcraft number there. Bearing. Our spring lock clip, Ford product. And that's our spring lock on that. So let's proceed on replacing this bearing. Let's get this tire off of here. All right, so he just looks like he's had the brakes done on it. Turn the wheel here, see what we got for pulling this caliper off of here. Pulling these little clips up. Oh, they're not clips, but anyway, little covers. I'm going to move the camera in a little closer for that, for better visibility. I'm going to remove the caliper with the bracket and everything is one piece, and then I'm going to hang it back there. Those are 18 mils. If you balance it there for a minute, it won't fall. And our rotor out of the way. Center nut's going to have to come off of this, and the lower bolt nut's going to have to come off of that. That's a 32, which is pretty standard. We'll look torque specs up on that a little later. See if the little bitty guy will get it off of there. You can see that that's not moving easily anyway. So if you're very careful to start with, you can tap on it just a little bit and see if it'll move. Don't hit it hard or you'll mushroom it, and you won't be able to get your nut started. That should be good enough. Now that that's done, we will take off that lower bolt. Let's see here. Sometimes I even take the tie rod off just to make things so you can swing things around a little bit easier and pull them around. So let's do that. 15 mil. 15 mil. The thing has this clunking sound in the front end on this side. He says that the manufacturer or the dealership couldn't find it. They've looked and looked and looked. I'm going to change this first because that's obvious bearing issue, but I'm going to see if I can locate that other problem. And then kind of looking at this a little bit, I know this hub's going to have to come out of here and be pulled, off of here with the slide hammers that grab at various things like that. I do have another tool for that. I'm just thinking out loud here on this. Anyway, let me pause. I need to make a call. Be right back. All right, now that I've got the nut off the top of the tie rod, I want to shock this one out of here. There we are. We'll go ahead and pull this cover off right here, 10 millimeters bolts on that. This thing's too weak. This is not. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take the wheel speed sensor off for the ABS system right here. Torque bit, T25. Take the bottom ball joint bolt out. I'm trying to do this job a little bit differently. I'm wondering if I can pull the hub and everything out as one piece. This is probably going to have a deep socket for this side. I got a 15 millimeter on that. So it's a 17 millimeter on the nut on the back side, and 15 on the bolt on the front side. Comes out relatively easy. Okay, if it seems kind of spotty, that's because I've been stopped about every 5 minutes. Pry bar, pry down the lower control arm. Let's get our axle back out of there. Now let's see if the success of being able to get the whole thing off as one piece. I'm probably dreaming, but we'll see. This is an OEM tool that goes in there like that. And this goes on the back side. I've only used this tool a few times, so I'm not completely 100% familiar with it. But I think what's going to happen, let's put it just like this for just a second. Actually, I think it's just going to pull the hub. You got to find a piece that goes into the back of it, and then there's two little 13 millimeter that go on it, and it kind of horseshoes around it like that. And then you thread these in. Interesting enough. There we go. Now that right there I got a 24 mil on that. Could use an impact, maybe, the little one. I don't like to use impacts on certain pullers and tools, so we're going to try first with just a long 1/2-inch ratchet. Might have to put a tool on the back side of this to hold that, and we'll see what happens. It's a little sideways, but as long as that hub moves, we don't care. It'd be better if it goes on the bottom. Of course, it doesn't want to cooperate now. Let's see what size that nut is on the back, see if it's another 24. It's bigger than a 24. So it's just going to be an adjustable. Well, it's wedging up in here. That's hilarious. All right. Wanted to turn it one way or the other, but kind of got myself jammed in here. Let's see if that makes it any more of a level pull. I think what's happening is this tool is pressing against this and it's pulling the hub out. Oh. Alright, let's stop and see what's going on. That's not working. Okay, I think I have it adapted in here right now, doing without the plate on the back, pressing against this and trying to pull this out. If this don't work, we're going to go a whole different direction. Don't even look like it's working. That should be the theory. It's weird. Sometimes new things don't work. I'm going to move a little bit, but I can't get an even full level. So, alright, so that is not going to happen. Okay, I may give up, but I may give out, but I'm not going to give up. I'm trying to get even pull here, because I know this will work. I just wedged it here against that, right, to get it straight. I kind of like to wedge this piece is against that lower ball joint bracket right there. That way I can release it. Let's see if we're having any luck now. There we go. All right. Success. How about that? Okay, so there you have it. Modify the tool and figure out how to pull it out of there. Now it should be snap ring on the back side of that. There is. Let's get down in here. Might be easier for me to turn this the other way. No, it doesn't make any difference. Just try not to pull the whole hub out of here, is the whole idea. All right, the ring is out. Starting to feel better about this whole thing. Now we got to get that bearing out. Now it's going to press out coming this way. So we've got to find a cone piece that will fit here on this side and push it out that way. And plug that air hose. I mushroomed one of these one time. Screwed up my tool. Let's see here. There's a little seal right there. If we can fit that whole edge like that, this should work. Then you're going to take, kind of like working like with a, a ball joint, that kind of thing. So you're going to need this. Something to fit the back. Too much stuff in my hand. Got all the adapters in, cone here, there. This will push the bearing that way, and it'd be inside of here. I know once they start moving, they get a little easier. I'm so out of shape. Let's move a little bit. But I'm going to continue with this, but not show it because I'm winded. So we'll show you the last little bit of this. All right, she's out of there. Of course, yeah, I do have a press. Could have taken it off, pressed it in and pressed it out. Would have saved my arms a lot. Hoo hoo hoo. One old bearing. Now let's get our new bearing. Now one side's a magnet and one side is not. Magnetic side is going to have to go to the inside for our wheel speed sensor. If you spin it, it's not going to work. Some bearings come with a magnet on both sides. The factory does not. And the other thing is, you got to fit this thing perfectly or you'll break that magnet, and that will defeat everything. So your tool has to fit it exactly on this ring outside. You can see the magnet is holding the tool in place. Now the little lubrication inside there is fine. Whatever you choose that you want to use. So we'll set the bearing up here like this. And it would be just the opposite of our tooling on the outside. So there you have it. Now we're going back in, put our 24 on this end, put our adjustable right there. All right, back at it. Had to answer some more questions. All right, we're bottomed out. Now, we're almost home free. Get our new snap ring. Make sure it's in the grooves. It is. Now you got to press this piece in the front. And again, you need that piece that fits the inside perfectly. Wasn't that one. That. So let's get that hub in there.
Is it on all the way?
Okay. So I just snug it. I don't really tighten it real tight because the final torque is going to be the final judgment of everything on that. Must be binding against my tool. That is awful tight. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't like that. I'm going to do a little inspection there, find out why that thing is so hard to turn. Because it's not even all the way down in there. And I can see the whole thing spinning with me. That doesn't make any sense. So it ain't right. Okay, now that we're back apart, Snap ring straight up. Let's see if the sensor's got room to go in there now. It does. So remember that. Your snap ring has to go with the open end straight up, because if you don't, you will not be able to get your sensor in there. I'm just going to start that. So we're back to this point. All right, got it. Some days you get your butt kicked on them. This one was my day. All right. Leave it right there. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up. Okay, we got the backing plate to put in, that kind of stuff. Let's get this lower control arm down and get this ball joint in there. Ball joint nut. This is not a strong impact, so don't get excited. All right, ball joint's in, sensor's in. That's there. Like I said, backing plate. Rotor. Let's go ahead and put our caliper back on. Make sure you don't twist your brake hose. That hang right there. Let's see what size those were. 18. We'll check that in just a second. Let's go ahead and start our tie rod back in there. All right, here we go. We'll check that too with a regular ratchet. It's good. It's definitely tight. That's good. Let's put these sockets back up. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and torque that. My dust cap's on the end of my caliper slide bolts, since we didn't have to take that off. All right, let's get our torque set. I do have a digital torque wrench, but I like this better. All right, after you do that, it's at an additional 90 degrees. So you could use a degree angle torque wrench or something like that, but 90 degrees is 90 degrees. So let's take a rocket science to figure that out. So let me get this up here and do a 90-degree turn. All right. Oh, hang on. Okay. 90-degree turn. She's in. That out of our way. All we've got left is to put our tire on and go test drive this vehicle and make sure that we're all good. So there you have it, through my struggles and my battle, my 2015 Ford Escape. Thanks for tuning in. You saw the good, the bad, and the ugly. See you next time.